Thank you very much, Annette, and good morning, Annie, bonjour, goedemorgen. I know there are a few Dutchmen in the room. Bonjour. I'd very much like to welcome you all and acknowledge that we're gathering together on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit, and it's just a pleasure to have all of you here this morning. Comme il est agréable d'être ici avec vous tous. And thank you to Annette Verschuren and Ilse Treurnicht. It's wonderful to have them because of their expertise and because of their experience, but their enthusiasm and their passion for innovation and for this work, for this sector is just, it's just infectious. So thank you very much. So you, Annette and Ilse, you really represent, in the work that you do and have done, you represent what this summit is about. It's about sharing expertise to build new opportunities. And I think that from the people that I spoke with last night, that's why everyone has come here, in order to be able to really take this discussion to the next level. The guiding vision of the summit is really about that innovation that Ilse talked about, and having the opportunity to have this event here at Mars, where experts and entrepreneurs can learn from each other, I think is very, very appropriate. And so it really it highlights the importance of bringing together people from public, private, not-for-profit sectors and building opportunities for that sharing to take place. And so I'm a very practical, verging on pragmatic person. And if there are good ideas, we need those good ideas wherever they come from. And so that's what this discussion is about. And so welcome to the Canadian Energy Innovation Summit. Many of our provincial leaders are here with us today. Premier Selinger of Manitoba has joined us, and you'll hear from him a little later. Energy Minister Diana McQueen from Alberta is here. She was here last night. She'll be joining us. Derek Daly, who's the Minister of Natural Resources from Newfoundland and Labrador, is here. Daly, okay, sorry. And we have a lot of deputy ministers and assistant deputies here as well from across the country. So thank you very much, all of you, for joining us. So it really seems to me that your presence here demonstrates that we see the shared priorities that are possible, some of which have been acknowledged, some of which we haven't yet, and the areas where we can lift each other up and harness that expertise. It's very important to me that we forge an even stronger economic partnership among provinces. And that's for the sake of our individual interests, but it's for our shared interests and those of the country as a whole. This has been a bit of a theme for me in the last number of weeks, that there are some national conversations that I think are extremely important. This is one of them. I can list the others, but it has fallen in many cases to the provinces to take up those national conversations and to promote them. And so I think that this is a great example of that. And I think that our combined influence and leadership does have an important impact on Canada's financial, environmental, and social well-being. But if we make that more intentional, and if we are very clear about what that coordination means, then I think that impact will be magnified. Every region obviously shares a vested interest in succeeding, and if we work together, I talk about one Ontario, but if we work together as one Canada, then I think we can accomplish so much more. And the energy sector is a prime example of what can be done, I think, using this approach. So provinces and territories are already collaborating successfully on energy issues, particularly in the development of a Canadian energy strategy. I would just say on that I think to date there's been very good gathering of information and to some extent a telling of the story of each of us as discrete entities, but I think now we need to push to figure out what are the actions that we can take together that will actually capitalize on the work that's being done in each one of our jurisdictions. So this summit's an opportunity to do that, to further the tremendous work that has been pioneered in many of your jurisdictions and in ours. Ce sommet est l'occasion d'approfondir le remarquable travail que vous avez amorcé. So I want to thank you for your continued efforts and for coming to this beautiful building. I don't know, Ilse, I think it's kind kind of modern, the unwrapped pipes, and it's excellent. So the cornerstones of progress are going to be this dialogue if we want to find the best solutions that to the challenges that we face. We need each other. We need to look for ways to collaborate and to partner. Ontario has about 3,000 clean tech firms that employ 65,000 people, generating revenues of more than $8 billion. But more specifically, we have amazing people from across the country in this room who are creative, they're forward-thinking, and are taking their talents to the next level and turning their ideas into industry. Take Ron Deasy and Daryl Wilson, and I know they're in the room. I had the opportunity to meet them earlier. They're with us. Ron is the CEO of Mbala Power Networks, a leading supplier of real-time demand management, which allows electricity customers to reduce their consumption at times when system need is the greatest, which reduces costs. His vision is to modernize the grid using intelligent load management, and he's doing that not only in Ontario, but also in other parts of the country and in the U.S. Daryl is CEO of Hydrogenics, and it's the world's largest producer of on-site hydrogen from electricity. His work has incredible potential to improve the reliability of renewables. And I'm proud to say that Hydrogenics is based in Mississauga, and it's delivering technology across the globe in Europe, Russia, China, and India. So I want to use Ron and Daryl as examples and to thank them for being innovators, for being entrepreneurs and investors, for the immense capital that they bring to the table today. And I want to thank everyone at Mars for their incredible leadership and vision. The Mars Discovery District has been a pivotal partner for my government in building up knowledge economy and creating an environment where entrepreneurs can succeed. And as you heard from Ilsa, the range of endeavors here is very, very wide. In fact, just yesterday, our Minister of Energy, Bob Chiarelli, was here to announce the winners of the Energy Apps for Ontario Challenge. And what that challenge was to come up with innovative apps to help people monitor their personal energy usage. And there's a broader implication to this initiative. We want consumers to monitor their energy use so that they can use energy wisely. That's the environmental aspect. But we want developers to create effective local solutions and be engaged with the energy system, and that's the social aspect. And we want to create a marketplace to build and scale effective consumer and small business solutions that have potential for export. That's the economic impact and aspect. So these apps are still on display. I hope you'll have a chance to look at them if you haven't already, and I recommend that you give them a try. But I think what's important about that initiative is that it demonstrates, from my perspective, how all of these sectors are linked, that there isn't a separation, as Ilsa was saying, there isn't a separation between the social and the economic and the energy. They're all connected, and if we deal with challenges in this sector in isolation from the rest of society, I think we miss an opportunity. So I'm very pleased that that initiative has come to fruition, and I'm pleased to unveil another great initiative that we've been working on with Mars. We're launching the new Advanced Energy Centre right here at the Mars Discovery District. Nous inaugurons le nouveau centre d'innovation en matière d'énergie, ici même au district de la découverte Mars. The centre will help homegrown energy innovations reach new markets here and overseas. It will support entrepreneurs in innovative energy technology and will allow them to succeed in the global marketplace. It will showcase to the world the expertise and technology Ontario has to offer. Il sera une façon de faire découvrir au monde entier l'expertise et la technologie que l'Ontario peut offrir. It'll leverage our successes to help drive that economic growth and create jobs that I talk about a lot. And we're investing in this center because we believe that that's the kind of partnership that absolutely is driving and will drive economic growth. So I'm really very proud of this project, and I want to thank the early adopters in the room. Capgemini is here, and Siemens and Hydro One have all signed up to be part of it. And Paul Murphy, who is in the room, will be joining the Energy Center as chair of the advisory board. And thank you, Paul, for taking on this important role. And many of you will know Paul as president and CEO of Ontario's Independent Electricity System Operator, where he did so much to make Ontario Power safer and more reliable. He's also a big champion of smart grid technology as the chair of the Ontario Smart Grid Forum. So Paul's impressive experience will be invaluable in this new role. So the Advanced Energy Centre, yes, where is Paul? Where is he? There he is, thank you. So I think the Advanced Energy Centre is just one example of how partnerships between the public and private sectors can yield exceptional results, and we look forward to its work. The focus of today's summit is to explore other opportunities where this collaborative approach can work. The demand for energy is rising across Canada, across the globe, and at the same time, the effects of climate change are wreaking havoc on communities everywhere. And so that means we have to face the issue of increasing our energy production, transmission, and supply, but we have to keep our communities safe and protect our resources. So that's the balancing act that we're engaged in. Economic development that's environmentally responsible is fundamental to the success of Ontario's energy future and Canada's energy future. And energy innovation can play a key role in capitalizing on opportunities that are changing the global energy market. As you know, the premiers in the country have been developing a Canadian energy strategy, which I referenced, and it's a good exercise so far, but it really needs to be pushed. And we're developing that to support the individual needs of regions, but to address our common energy challenges. Most of us across the country have agreed on some common principles for the strategy, and the premiers of Alberta, Newfoundland, Labrador, and Manitoba have been working very closely together to deliver on a common vision of ensuring Canada as a global leader in supplying secure, sustainable, and reliable energy that respects the environment and promotes prosperity for all of Canadians. We plan, as was mentioned, we plan on releasing the strategy later this year. And so now, provinces and territories need to work together to build the energy infrastructure and accelerate the development of innovative technologies that we need to meet global energy demands, as well as our own. And that's in order to protect the environment and to create jobs across the country. I believe that Ontario has a lot to contribute to that conversation, but so do all of you. We understand that we have to engage Aboriginal communities, hear all voices, and ensure there's mutual benefit from these projects. And I know that there's good work being done across the country on that front as well, and we need to share those experiences. It's fundamental to Ontario's smart, sustainable, and collaborative approach to natural resource development. And I think we can make a compelling case to the federal government that the involvement of Aboriginal communities is imperative. I look forward to our work with all of the provincial partners and territorial partners on the Canadian energy strategy, and I really look forward to some very concrete ideas for collaboration. On that note, later today, Premier Selinger and I will sign a memorandum of understanding that will provide a framework for collaboration on energy between our two provinces. Ontario and Manitoba have committed to working together on energy innovation, on efficiency and conservation initiatives, driving economic development opportunities in both of our provinces. And I'm very proud of that partnership. And Greg and I, when I was in Kenora, Greg came across the border to tell me first that he wanted to annex northwestern Ontario, but I said that wasn't on. And then we had a more rational chat about what we could work together on. L'Ontario et le Manitoba se sont engagés à travailler ensemble en ce qui a trait à l'innovation, à l'efficacité et la conservation en matière d'énergie, ce qui générera des possibilités de développement économique dans nos provinces. So we'll talk about how we can put together a working group to share best practices, how we can do some joint studies and do some demos of technologies, and how we can possibly come up with some bilateral arrangements, especially in support of economic growth in the north. So I think the framework of the Memorandum of Understanding is the kind of initiative that will allow us to move forward on that collaboration. I'm very proud of that partnership. I hope that today we'll bring together more close partnerships. We need your ideas as we shape a Canadian energy strategy, and the work that's done today will feed directly into the development of that strategy. It's one part of putting together that strategy. And you know, I will just say this, it's wonderful to have the opportunity for the premiers to come together. I had my opportunity to go to my first Council of the Federation of the Premiers meeting last summer in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and it was a terrific experience. But it's only meaningful if there are real initiatives and real deliverables that come out of those meetings. Otherwise, they become gab fests that are good for building relationships. I believe in that building of a collaborative relationship, but more importantly, we really need to push each other on how we can work together. We are a nation with shared interests, and so it only makes sense that province to province, territory to province, territory to territory, that we would find ways to help each other and support each other. And of course we're competitive, and of course we want to have our own jurisdiction do well, but we will do better as a country, and therefore we will do better individually if we find those ways of collaborating and working together. So I'm very hopeful about the conversation today. I want to thank all of you for making the effort to be here. We have some nice, dry, cold weather for you, which is unusual in Toronto. So enjoy, and thank you very much for being here. Merci beaucoup.